Yo, what is good, YouTube? It's your boy Punk, and we are back for another video. And today we are doing something a little bit different but exciting. Today I am reading your questions about Street Fighter that you have for me and trying to answer them pretty much to the best of my ability. I did put out a tweet where I said that, I want to do a video where y'all can pretty much ask me anything, and people asked away. I liked a few comments that were pretty interesting, and I'm going to go through them, answer the questions, and hopefully this answer a lot of questions that a lot of you may have, and maybe in the future we could do this more depending on how much you guys like the video. Without further ado, I need you to go like, comment, subscribe, and turn the post notification bell on, and let's get into it. Alright, so I liked a few comments, and this was one of the first ones I liked. So first question was from a fella named, is it Ricky Y? Rick YX? I don't know. Street Fighter 6 question: do you think you're gonna prefer Street Fighter 6 over Street Fighter 5, or mainly play Street Fighter 6 because it's the new one? I personally like Street Fighter 5 more. Well, I don't really think that make too much sense because Street Fighter 6 is not even out, so how can you really like something more? This don't really make too much sense. I appreciate the effort, my boy, but this comment is going to go in the trash. I'm not going to cap to you. How tough is it to play so many characters at a high level? Honestly, it's not gonna lie, it's pretty hard to play a lot of characters at a high level, because a lot of times you see me play and I just do weird combos and unoptimal stuff in situations where I should just be able to do the optimal things, and it's not very hard to, but my brain sometimes be scrambled eggs and I just do what I know is the easiest and not most optimal sometimes. And I think that's like a big part of trying to play so many characters and play a lot of different games. Also, it does play its part a little bit. What's your favorite Street Fighter game of all time? My favorite Street Fighter game of all time is probably Street Fighter Cross Tekken, if that counts. I love that game a lot. That game, I always said it in the Cross Tekken videos. If you go back and watch those bad boys, I always say that is my favorite fighting game of all time, and so that is my favorite Street Fighter game of all time. I love that game a lot. That game is goated.
The nature of monkey was irrepressible.
Talk about Punk!
At this point, I know what you're thinking. This channel's hilarious, right? How do you show support? By subscribing, of course.
To order Punk, call the number on your screen. Rush delivery is available. Remember, this special offer is not sold in stores.
Best way to learn a new character and train a remote habit. For me, honestly, the best way I learn a new character is a lot of times I'll just watch a really good player who plays a character, and I'll see what they kind of doing, and then I'll try to pretty much copy it and then implement my own style of playing neutral in there. And then that's pretty much like how I would go about learning a character. Now, I don't really go into training mode too much when I'm learning a new character, since combos and punishing things are not very hard in Street Fighter 5. So I feel like when you played a lot and you're like a pro player, pretty much, you don't really need to go to training room to lab those kind of things. You can just see someone do it, and as long as you remember it, you could definitely just do it on the fly. What character from another fighting game would you want to see added and adapted into Street Fighter? I would say Dante. I'm gonna say Liu Kang. I think Liu Kang would be cool in a Street Fighter game, and I love Liu Kang, so I would like to see Liu Kang added into Street Fighter if they can make that work. If y'all see this video, Capcom, hit up NRS, please, bro. Y'all make my day, make my life if y'all added Liu Kang into Street Fighter. As a rookie, what character should I use to have a feel for the game? Good question. People ask this question a lot in Twitch chats, YouTube comments. As a new player, you honestly should just play whatever character you want to play and you're going to have fun with, because at the start, you just want to, you're trying to have fun. You're playing a video game because you want to have fun with it at the end of the day. So you should have your fun, and at low ranks, no character is really bad because people don't really know matchups too well down there. So you always can just play what you like, have fun, do things you want to do, and then if you don't feel so confident with that character up in the ranks, higher in the ranks, and you just feel like you want to switch, then you should go and switch, but at least get that character down, learn the combos, learn some setups, you know, anti-airs, learn all those things and get that down with the character, and then that you find fun, and then if you don't like that later on, switch to another character. But yeah, there's no character in the game that you should be playing as a new player or rookie rank. You should just play what you have fun with, honestly. What about Street Fighter keeps me playing? Honestly, I just like Street Fighter. I played it when I was so young and I just loved it. I feel like it's just part of my life, part of who I am, honestly, to be real with you. I just like the game a lot. I just love Street Fighter, and just competition, one-on-one competition. Like, even though other fighting games have really high level competition, Street Fighter is just like the creme de la creme when it comes to international competition and just players just trying to win and trying their hardest. So I just love that about the game a lot. So that's what just keeps me going, and that's why I just want to keep playing Street Fighter forever, and I just love the game. So yeah, that's pretty much what it is. Do I use default controller button setup? No, I do not use default controller button setup. I do switch my L1 and R1. I think L1 is V shift, and then no, I think it's L1 and L2. I'm sorry, yeah, I think L1 is V shift, and then L2 is it's two kick button, two kick EX button. That is my layout, and then everything else is default. When did it hit you that you were the top 0.1% of players? When I first competed, I honestly believed that I was the best. I never really believed someone else is better than me. That's just my mindset towards playing, and if I'm doing anything seriously and professionally in my life that's a competition or competitive, I'm always going to believe I was the best player. So honestly, from the first day I went to a tournament, I believed that I could win, or I'm not going to waste my time being there. So pretty much from the first time I went to a tournament all the way till now, I just feel like I should be the best if I put in the work and I train, and I know that that's what I want to be. I should be that. So when you look back at all the sets you play, which one sticks out as my favorite? Honestly, it's funny. My favorite set I've ever played that was very exciting and I was very happy was against Jobin at Evo Japan in top 8. I believe it was in top 8. That match was so hard racing. I don't know, bro. I didn't know if I was going to win or lose, but I was having so much fun, bro. Like, Jobin, he's just so crazy, but like, he made it so fun. I don't know what it was about it that made it so fun, but yeah, that probably was the set for me that sticks out as probably my favorite. I like that one a lot. Best set in competitive Street Fighter V history. There's so many good sets. I'm just trying to think of my favorite, my actual favorite one. Me versus Daigo. Me and Daigo had a few good sets, and none of them are my favorite though. My favorite sets are not including me, that's for sure. One of my, I want to say maybe it's Fujimura and Bonchan as CEO. I like that set a lot. I just love Fujimura in Street Fighter V, and I just love watching Bonchan. And that set was like Fujimura almost got so close. He brought it all the way back, and it was so close, bro. That set was just, it was literally like down to the last hit wire, bro. That set was amazing. That's probably my favorite right there. It took me a lot of time to think about that, so you know that's really my favorite right there. Will I ever make a switch to Hitbox controller? I mean, I'm trying to learn the mix box, so we'll see how that go, but it's definitely not a necessity to use. It's not going to make you win. I want y'all to know that now. It's not going to make you win. If you're trash at the game, you're going to be trash if you switch over to Hitbox. All it's going to do maybe is help your execution a bit, and that's about it. But if your decision making, your neutral, all that stuff is still going to be trash, it's not going to help it. So I want y'all to know that. Is it too late to get into the Street Fighter franchise from a competitive aspect? I feel like a lot of the best players in the game are legacy players who've been playing the game for years. No, I don't think it's too late to get into the Street Fighter franchise in a competitive aspect. There's new people who get into the game all the time, actually, that just started in like Street Fighter 5 or something, that just started at the end of Ultra. Honestly, fundamentals carry on in Street Fighter. If you get good at one Street Fighter game, your fundamentals going to carry on through all of them, and you can get good now. It's not hard to really get into Street Fighter, I feel like, because they do change a bit. It's just the core fundamental aspect is still there, but the mechanics and stuff be all new. So you can definitely get into new Street Fighter games or play older ones to catch up to before the new one come out, and just get those fundamentals down for the game and get the feel for how to play Street Fighter the correct way. And then yeah, I think you can do it. It's not too late to get into the Street Fighter franchise, definitely not. I started 2 weeks ago and I'm in mid-silver. That's honestly pretty good if you started 2 weeks ago. I feel like there's now a plateau of knowing character matchups. Do you think it's worth it to keep playing, or should I wait for Street Fighter 6 and play JoJo? Honestly, I mean, if you want to play JoJo's and wait for Street Fighter 6, if that's what you want to do, you should do it. You know, whatever one's going to make you happier. If you want to keep trying to play the game, I don't really think you plateaued if you just started 2 weeks ago and you already mid-silver. I think you just gotta keep playing and, you know, learn more matchups and keep trying to find people who play certain characters and maybe send them invites and stuff, or just go into training room and set certain situations up for yourself to learn the stuff that may be annoying you and bothering you about characters, so you can always do that. But if you want to play JoJo's, if that's what's going to make you happier, do that. But if not, I gave you a few things that you can try to work on for character matchups, and hopefully it helps you and you can, you know, get higher in the ranks. This is from Crisis Kid X. How do you feel about Street Fighter 6 and what the game could contribute towards the future at HGC? Honestly, Street Fighter 6 I think is looking like it's going to be really well made at the start for a fighting game. There's a lot of fighting games now where they come out and they're just half-ass kind of pretty much, and they're not fully made. They don't feel like fully made $60 games. But Street Fighter 6 is looking like they're really trying to push this and get the community's like opinion about it. They're letting us play it a lot and then they getting our opinion, so they might change up the game throughout what people saying and if people are agreeing a lot on certain things. So yeah, this game is honestly looking good, and it's looking really good for casuals. They look like they looking to make the story a lot more better, or arcade mode, whatever it may be. A lot of just content in the game for single player, and Street Fighter usually never have that, so that's really good for the casual audience for the FGC, and it could get them into, you know, even if it's just watching competitive play and finding their favorite players that they like to watch and still just playing on that casual level. Even if it's helping that's still helping the FGC and the community grow. So I think Capcom is doing a really good job with that, honestly. How do you recognize patterns in your opponent? I always feel like it takes me more than a standard first or two to make any reads. Also, what was the reason you moved away from characters better to play in just about every character? How do I recognize patterns? There are a few things I look for a lot of times. You know, sometimes I look for how they're pressing their buttons early on, like what buttons they like to use to poke with early on, and seeing which ones they like to use, so then I know I can stay out of range and try to whip punish that button the most. Then there's if I'm trying to see what they're doing when their back is in the corner. Are they just trying to jump out instantly? They're trying to land a back throw, you know, something like that. What are they trying to do to get out that corner? And then, you know, there's just a lot of reads in general that you're just trying to make in the match just to see what your opponent is doing. Like, I'm trying to see if they're trying to tech early on a lot, or are they trying to take a lot of throws early on. That way I could see which way I should go to get my damage early on, and then try to open up the other one more. So figuring that out early on is something you need to do. Out of all the characters you play, who is your favorite, most fun to play, or just feels the best for you? Right now, I honestly like playing Akali a lot. I think he's really fun, and he's pretty good this season. Obviously, he's not the best character, but he's still pretty good, and he can hang with a lot of the top tier characters, but you do have to be really good, and you have to have a lot of awareness with that character. So, yeah, I think Akali for me is probably the most fun, and he's probably the one that feels the best when I play him. So I would definitely say Akali. If you could make a Street Fighter character, what combination of moves from other characters would you pick to make a move list from any game? If I were to make a Street Fighter character, one, I'd definitely give them the Liu Kang fly kick. I want a Hadouken and a DP. And I think that would be I would just give them those three moves, honestly. Hadouken, DP, and a Liu Kang fly kick. And that would be the moves I give my character. My favorite thing about Street Fighter 5. Honestly, I think the game is pretty good, one, outside of Luke being in the game. Do you think Grapplers will ever be good in Street Fighter Engine, especially Zangief? I mean, got body all well. Zangief was top 5 in Season 2, so Grapplers have been good in the Street Fighter engine. Abigail was good in season 3. There's been top tier grapplers, so yeah, your question is kind of wrong right here because grapplers have been good in Street Fighter. Grapplers been good in the Street Fighter engine. Mika in season 1, I forget about her. She was also really good. So yeah, there's been a lot of good grapplers, my guy. Who's the most irritating character to play against, but not because of their tier? The most irritating character to play against, I would say, is probably like Dan. If you fight a good Dan player and you don't really know when that pressure ends, like it's very annoying. Luckily, you only have like Maruto that really plays Dan at that level with V-Skill 2. So you don't really have to worry about that too much. But if you got him, bro, good luck, my mans. Because I'm not trying to fight that. That character is actually annoying. Does character passion influence who you play, or do you just play the character who will get you the best results? Well, a little of both, because honestly, I love Ken the most. That's my favorite character in Street Fighter, in general. So I just love Ken. But I played Karin most of the lifespan, and that's because I don't really like Ken at the start of Street Fighter 5. I didn't like how you had to play him, and I didn't really play the game. So Sean told me that I should try out Karin because it's more of my playstyle, and I just kind of I don't really like the character or care for Karin, but I like how she played the game. And, for me, even if I like a character and I have passion for them, I want something that's going to fit my playstyle and how I like to play to have fun with. So even if I don't like a character, if I have fun playing that playstyle, I'll like playing the character in general. I like playing Karin, but I don't like Karin. I don't care about the character. I have no, passion. If she's not in Street Fighter for the rest of his life, I would not give a crap, so yeah, that's what it is for me. How do you personally react to big losses such as EVO 2017? Specific things strategy you employ? Well, honestly, there's no strategy or thing. Honestly, you just know that there's more tournaments, and EVO might be the biggest tournament, and people make it out to be the way that if you don't win that, then you can't be the best. But honestly, that's just not really the case, for the simple fact that those same people who in the top 8 of EVO, top 16, top 32s are in the top 8 of other tournaments, and they're trying just as hard in that tournament that they were trying at EVO. It's just that EVO has a bigger name and bigger prestige. So the fact, I tell myself the fact that I'm gonna play those same people at another tournament that they're trying the same amount of hard in, why let EVO really get to me when if I win that tournament, it's pretty much like the same thing. It's just, you're not going to go there and not try your hardest. So the fact that I could think about that, I feel like that's just that helps a lot when you take a big loss. Yeah, we are coming to the end of the video, and honestly, I had a lot of fun reading all of your comments and just answering them for you, and hopefully these questions can help more than one person. Maybe some more people out there have those same questions, and it can help you also. So I hope these helped a lot of you, and maybe we could do it more in the future if you guys like the video. So let me know what y'all thought about these in the comment section below, and if we should do more of this in the future for maybe Street Fighter 6 or maybe a different fighting game, who knows, or just in general we could do more question kind of videos. But yeah, let me know what y'all thought about the video in the comment section below, and as always, I will see you in the next one. This comment is going to go in the trash. I'm not going to catch you.